a band. You hear it?
It is necessary for the recording of sound to convert the sound waves to corresponding changes in light. The sound waves produced by my voice are transmitted through the air to the microphone, where these sound waves are converted to changes in an electric current. These variations in the electric current are then amplified and used to control the light. This varying beam of light falling on the photoelectric cell produces variations in the electric current, which are directly proportional to the variations in the light beam. The sound track. As the varying electrical current in the photoelectric cell is small, a vacuum tube amplifier is required to increase it to the point where it will operate a loudspeaker. Sound track.
What is up, everyone, and welcome to the Occult Rejects. Today I got Teresa with me again. I know you've seen her doing the Eyeballs series, as well as Lisa, and I got both of them back with me today. This was kind of like a spur-of-the-moment episode, and I think it really worked out great that both of them were available to do it today as well. I think I had the idea, Thursday or Friday, and you both made yourself available today and did all the work over the weekend pretty quick, too. So I appreciate all of that. As some of you may know, especially from, I think I did put the video up on YouTube, and there is something up on Instagram as well. I know it did pretty well on Instagram, and on, but YouTube, maybe not everybody knows, but I have been going to Freemason lodges. And I was going because I just really wanted to kind of get the architecture and just see the symbols, check out the area. You know, I even used my drone because I wanted to see what the top of these places even looked like. I was trying basically to find commonalities, maybe in the architecture and the symbolism, that most people wouldn't totally catch. And in that process, I started noticing from going to the lodges myself that either they were next door to a funeral home, or I passed one coming around the corner to go to it. And I was like, this is weird. I was like, this is 3 or 4 lodges now that I've seen that I could literally walk to a funeral home or even throw a rock at one. And I started thinking about it, and I started checking a few others, and I was like, yo, this is weird. There's a lot of lodges close to funeral homes. And I had said something to Lisa and Teresa, and they had checked a few out, and it worked out for them too. I do want to give Brandy a shout out as well. She couldn't make the show because we had to change the time schedule, but she did help out as well, and she had found a bunch of them, and some of them I will be reading off on here. I have lodges in North Carolina that I will cover as well. But in my opinion, I don't think this will be the first time doing this. If there is a possibility for me to show 100 or more, so then people can't keep saying that maybe this is a coincidence, maybe I'll do it if I have to. But I figured to start off with, we have at least 50, maybe 51, 52, and probably 60 or more funeral homes surrounding all of them. And I think that is very friggin' weird. What the hell? And what's crazy to me is that there's some that I will get to where there's 4 or 5 funeral homes around these lodges. Can you tell me why so many people are dying in that town? You need 5 lodges? 5 funeral homes within a mile radius?
Yeah.
You must have a problem, and a lot of people are dropping dead. Why? Very weird, very weird. And some of them are considered it says funeral home, but you're pulling up a house that looks like it's in the hood and hasn't been cleaned in 10 years. One of them is in the middle of the street too. So it's are these, really funeral homes? What's up with that? Very weird. Some of them even match the same names. There's one that I'll read that is has the Muslim type of Freemason lodge, and then the funeral home next to it is the same style. So, that's very weird, very weird. All right, I'm going to get into it now. I'll stop running my mouth. I'm going to do mine, and then Teresa will do hers, and then we'll have Lisa, and I'll finish off with Brandy's. All right, here we go. We're going to add this up, put this up on the screen, and this is just, a way for you to guys to get an idea, and I'm going to be showing the maps, too, so you see the distance. This is not about you contacting or going to these places. I am not asking anybody to do that, and I do not recommend doing that. This is literally just for information, and so you could see exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you. Just wanted to make that quick PSA. So we have this one. This one is, I thought it was interesting how the address is even 888. And that's in Bayonne, New Jersey, if I'm saying that correctly. And then we have Bayonne Memorial Home. And that is 845 Avenue C. And they are literally a 3-minute walk from each other on the same block. Then we have Mac Memorial Home. And that is in Secaucus, New Jersey. And then we have Masonic Lodge number 72. That is in Secaucus, New Jersey as well. And they are a 10-minute walk or a 3-minute drive. So that's number 2. Then we have Nutley Masonic Lodge number 25. And that is in Nutley, New Jersey. And then we have here, this is the S.W. Brown and Son Funeral Home. That is in Nutley, New Jersey as well. And when you check that, that is a 2-minute drive away. If you can see here, they're basically like, across from each other, just on different streets, blocks away. Then we have this Masonic Lodge in Melrose, Massachusetts. And then we have Gately Funeral Home in Melrose, Massachusetts. And those are a 2-minute drive or a 6-minute walk away from each other. This is literally around the corner, basically. Then you have Clifton Masonic Lodge in Clifton, New Jersey. And then you have Beelzebub Quinlan, however you say that, Clifton, New Jersey. And that's at 1313 Van Houten Avenue. And that is a 2-minute drive or a 10-minute walk. And I mean, again, basically down the street, around the corner. Then we have the Whitestone Masonic Hall, which is the one that I had actually filmed myself and noticed. That's in Whitestone in Queens. And then you have Martin A. Gleason Funeral Home in Whitestone in Queens. And they are literally around the corner from each other. I was able to film with the Zoom the funeral home from the Masonic Lodge when I was standing in front of it. Then you have the Long Island Masonic Temple. That's the one in Rockville Center that I also went to, that I had posted. It's 28 Lincoln Avenue. And then you have 20 Lincoln Avenue, which is right next door, actually. You will see in the video that I did for that, you will actually see the funeral home right next door to it as I'm filming it. So that one you could actually literally throw a rock at. Then we have Smithtown Masonic Temple. That one's the 34 River Road in Smithtown. And then we have the Branch Funeral Home in Smithtown. And that, 4-minute walk or a 1-minute drive. Again, right around the corner. Maybe that's why they're trying to do angles over here. Then we have Temple Beth El of Patchogue. That's in Patchogue, Oak Street. And then we have Roberta, however you say this, Funeral Home. And that one's on Medford Avenue in Patchogue. And that is a 1-minute walk, 1-minute drive, or a 7-minute walk. Again, down the block, around the corner. And then we also have the O'Connell Rothwell Funeral Home. That is 2-minute drive away and an 8-minute walk. Right there. And that's for this, sorry, I got ahead of myself. That is actually for the Southampton one that I'm getting to now. The Southampton one that's O'Connell Rothwell Funeral Home, and then the Masonic Lodge on Main Street in Southampton. That one is right there, 2 minutes away, 8 minutes around the corner. Walk, 2-minute drive. Then we have Boiling Spring Lodge, that is in Rutherford, New Jersey. And then we have the Rutherford Funeral Home in New Jersey. And that is a 2-minute drive down the block or 9-minute walk down the block. Right there. And we have the Alpha Lodge. That is in East Orange, New Jersey. And then we have the Cotton Funeral Services in city of Orange, New Jersey. And that is a 5-minute drive or a 17-minute walk down the block, right around. It's right near a McDonald's and a Wendy's, too. You gotta wonder about McDonald's and their golden arches. Then we got the Cincinnati Lodge, and that's Morristown, New Jersey. And then we have the Doyle Funeral Home in Morristown, New Jersey. And that is a 6-minute walk or a 1-minute drive down the block, around the corner. We have the Gothic Fraternal Lodge in Hamilton Township. Then we have the Saul Colonial Home in Hamilton Square. And that is a 5-minute walk or 2-minute drive down the block, around the corner. And that is that's all I got for me right now. That should have been, I think, like, oh God, I don't know, like 13, maybe 14 so far out of all that. And now we'll let Teresa take over.
Sure. Give me 1 second here. All right. So I did mostly ones in the Toronto area and then some in other parts of Ontario. And this is like just a small sampling. Like there's no shortage of examples. I don't know about you, NY, and Lisa. When you were researching, did you find that it was more consistent to have funeral services near a temple as opposed to a lodge? Because I found that.
Well, I'll go real quick. I did notice for me, and now I'm going to be totally honest with you, and I'm not lying. I probably had a 3 out of 5 every time I checked a lodge by a funeral home. This shit was easy as fuck for me. It was actually bizarre how easy it was. But when it didn't, it was normally a lodge and not a temple, like you said. There were some that I did that I'm going to get to in North Carolina that are temples, and they are the ones with like 3, 4, or 5 surrounding them. Yeah. Weird.
I found the same thing. Yeah, exactly. How about you, Lisa?
Yeah, I found a lot of churches. Again, I think it's based on demographics because, Texas is the whole Spanish thing. A lot of churches near funeral homes as well as cemeteries. And we'll get into whatever, but a lot of cemeteries near Masonic lodges as well.
I didn't check for that.
Oh, I noticed that on the map myself. I started noticing that at the end. Yeah, okay. There's a few things that might even end up touching upon, but like I started noticing on a few of them, and then eventually I just stopped paying attention because I wanted to stick to what I was doing. But like I think I had told you, I started noticing like near the post office, police stations, and schools. Like normally 2 out of those 3, and it seemed to be making like almost an X with from the lodge to the funeral home, and then the school and the police station would almost be like across from each other and it'd make an X. Weird. I thought I was like, yo, this is bizarre.
Right. All right. So back to Canada. So we have, there's this one really close to my house. So I just happened yesterday to like go for a short drive and check it out myself. So this is a Ward Funeral Home. This is in Weston, which is like the west part of Toronto. And then literally right across the street is the Masonic Lodge. I have a like real quick video just to show like how close it is. literally across the street. A little spin move for you. That's just some close-ups of the lodge. I don't know if they put those dates for like, is that like the Hebrew year or something? Like, it's a different calendar, or are those just like numbers of some other kind? I don't know.
No clue.
It could be the number of the lodge, actually.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, the ones on the side, yeah, that I have. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I'll just quickly.
The interesting thing though, it does seem to be going like in order, like from how we would date from one date to the next. So that is interesting.
Yeah, and the way the lodge itself was super sketchy.
You know what? They forgot to fill it in with cement and change that number to a 19 when they wanted to start fucking around with the times of these buildings and when they were
Right? Yeah. Anyways,
like, fuck, we forgot to cement that one in.
This is the entrance of the lodge. It's just like a steel door. I was like, wow, okay. Anyways, I really feel like it's helpful to like walk up to the place to get like a good sense of what the heck is going on there. Anyways, let me skip through these real quick. Sorry. So many. Oh, and it's also near a Protestant church, which I found was interesting. A lot of them are near churches also.
Yeah, I noticed Emmanuel's being a common one.
And libraries, which is another weird thing. That's just showing the distance. Like, you can't even drive it. You just literally have to walk. And that's the temple itself. So it's Weston Masonic Temple. And then Ward Funeral Home. And the funeral home also has another whole part like across the street and down the way with like the parking lot and all that too. So it takes up quite a bit of space. Anyways, next example, we have St. Andrew's Masonic Temple, which is in Caledonia, Ontario. So that's like north of Toronto. And then Miller Funeral Chapel, also in Caledonia. And they are literally a 1-minute drive away from each other, not even a kilometer away. We use, metric system up in here.
That's right. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. This one is the Grand Lodge of Canada. So this is in Hamilton, Ontario. This is a city west of Toronto. And it's like a huge like Masonic complex. Also, it's near a historic castle, which I thought was interesting. There's a couple of them like that. And then the business that was close by is Irene Cremations. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. 4-minute drive, 11-minute walk. So pretty close. And there's the business. The York Masonic Temple. This is in East End of Toronto, East York. Another big one. And it was really close to a few places. So affordable burials and cremations. Super close by, 3-minute drive. And then also along the way, there's Mount Pleasant Group, which is a funeral service, and Heritage Funeral Center. And they're all like, I put them all at different points on the map. So there's like A, B, and C.
Oh, yeah, I see that, yeah.
Yeah, multiple stops.
You see now, like even the one, like technically that one is actually closer than the way it's showing you because I'm sure there's a way to get to it going diagonal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the one at from the red mark all the way to the other end. Couldn't you just go across somehow? Probably.
I think there might be it might be a highway or something there. I don't know if you can actually like physically like traverse there, but like distance wise, it's really close. Who knows if there'd be like underground like way to get there? I don't know.
Well, I had noticed over by me, like when I was doing some of the directions. I mean, I'm not just trying to make it sound even better, but like technically the way it's showing you to drive, I noticed like these are using one-way streets. So it has to go a specific way, but yet if I was walking, it'd be even closer.
Right.
Because I don't have to abide the one-way streets.
Right. Yeah, totally. This is Connet Masonic Hall. This is actually super close to my house as well, which I had no idea there was a Masonic Hall here. I was just down this way like the other day. So that's on Superior Avenue, really close to Lake Ontario. Oh my God, I'm sorry. My kids are upstairs doing something. And then it's close to Hogle Funeral Home, which again in the same vicinity. 2 minutes drive, 6 minutes walk. So pretty close. And this is a really, actually very beautiful Masonic temple, like from the road. I've never been inside, but I've passed it a bunch of times in the car. And it's called University Lodge, or on Google Maps, it's called 151 Annette Street Hall Rental. I don't know why it's called that, but its real name is University Lodge. It's close to a couple of places, again, in west area of Toronto, on Annette Street. So it's down the street from Cardinal Funeral Home. And super close by, 1 minute drive, 4-minute walk. Also thought it was weird that the corner that the Masonic Temple is on, the cross street, is called Aziel Street, which I thought was a weird name, especially for the neighborhood. Like, none of the other streets are called names like that. And I looked it up real quick because I was like, oh, is that like an angel or something, or a fallen angel? Like, I don't know, a demon's name. Aziel apparently is the name of someone in the Bible in the book of Chronicles. And it was a member of the tribe of Levi who assisted during a ceremony like dedicating the tabernacle. Oh, wow. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Very weird. And also there is a Catholic church just down from the Masonic Hall as well. St. Cecilia's, it's called. All right. So this one is, I believe, in the east end of Toronto, Birchcliff Lodge of, I don't know what that is, Ancient and Accepted Freemasons, or whatever those acronyms are, on Chisholm Avenue, which is down the street from Clark Funeral Home. So this is, in the east end of Toronto, near the Danforth. If anyone's seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding, that was filmed over here. And also another funeral service, Giffen, Mac, and Troll Funeral Home. So just showing the two places. So I believe they are right on top of each other, the two funeral centers. So like you can't even tell the difference. The lodge's other name is also Acacia Lodge. So sometimes like they have these like secret names. Like why on Google it just doesn't come up as Acacia Lodge? I don't know. But it's like you have to like dig. So it's just showing.
Sometimes you'll go to like you'll have to go to their sites actually.
Yeah.
And it, like when you click on to like directions, it actually gives you a GPS coordinates and not even the address.
Yeah.
It's like, what the
well, because some of them, for example, like the first one that I showed, to get there, it's like you had to just like walk. It doesn't even really like show you like, it's just like, here you are. And then it's like, whoa. It's like back from the street. So you have to like walk. Anyways, so yeah, just showing them that they're super close by. 1 minute drive, 2 minute walk. This is my favorite one of all the ones I found. So there's an area of Ontario called Prince Edward County. So this is like 2.5, 3 hour drive east of Toronto, sort of close to Kingston, which is like near our big penitentiary. If anyone's ever heard of that, Paul Bernardo is locked up there. And anyways, so I've been there a couple times to Prince Edward County to visit, and it's really creepy. I'm just going to say that to preface this, and I don't like it there. But anyways, this is, so there's like all these little cities, little towns and villages that make up the county, which is referred to as Prince Edward County. So I always thought for sure, Prince Edward County is going to be full of like examples like this. Sure enough, it is. So we have Picton Masonic Hall. So Picton is one of the towns that makes up the county. And it is down the street from a bunch of places. 1, 2, 3, 4 places. One of them being this one, Twilight Industries, which is 31 Cold Storage Road. I don't like the name of that address. Okay.
That's
weird.
Funny. Cold storage.
Yeah,
we're talking about funeral homes.
Right. Okay. So if you look it up, it says that it's related to funeral services. But then if you like try to dig in like, what is this business? It also is freighting and trucking.
Oh my God.
So how are you like funeral related? I don't get it.
That weird.
Oh, they're funeral related for sure.
Conspiracy or coincidence?
Right? Like you can just infer your own conclusions on that one. Also down the street from the Picton Masonic Lodge is Rushnell Funeral Homes, 33 Main Street, Picton. And I just want to also say that the main street in Picton is referred to also as Highway 33. Just saying. Weird. Also down the street from Brighton Funeral Home, 130 Main Street, Picton, and Hicks Funeral Home, 2 Center Street, Picton. I think that's all the places it's near. So just showing literally how close this all is. It's all within like a 1-minute vicinity. And this is like a tiny ass town. So I was like, okay, why do you need all these funeral services? The population of Picton is 4,702 people. Don't you need like one funeral home? Like how many people are dying every day?
That's what I was saying about some of the ones I came across. Why are you like next to 3 or 4? How many people are dying in that town?
The whole entire county, which is comprised of multiple towns and villages, is 24,735 people in the whole county. So like, why do we need 4 or 5 places just on Picton Main Street, Highway 33? It's fucked. I just think it's bizarre.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. Just showing the Highway 33 there as well. All right. Another town near Prince Edward County is Frankfurt, Ontario. So Quinte Masonic Center, 33 King Drive, Frankfurt, Ontario.
33 King.
And
is that like 1122 Kings Road too with Franco?
God, honestly. And this is the funeral chapel, Frankfurt Funeral Chapel, 40 North Trent Street in Frankfurt. And they are a 1-minute drive, 2-minute walk away from each other. Okay. This one, sorry, just want to get like the proper name. Masonic Temple Hall in Belleville, Ontario, 132 Foster Avenue. Belleville is also super close to Prince Edward County. I don't think it's technically part of the county, but whatever, close enough. Close to Burke Funeral Home.
Oh, I came across a Burke too.
Oh, did you? Oh,
yeah.
Maybe it's the same company. Who knows? And also Bay of Quinte Cremation Center, 150 Church Street, Belleville. And just to map it out, 1 minute away from each other by car, 10 minutes walk. It's probably pretty sprawled out. Like
that even looks like, you remember before when I said like some of them, it's like literally across from each other, just blocks in between.
Yeah. So look, this one, although like not surprising, the funeral home and the cremation center are like adjacent to each other. So they are super, super close. Also, another thing with the Belleville Masonic Temple Hall, I did find 5 places that I could have included, like close by, within 10 minutes radius. But I was like, these are the 2 like really close ones. So I included those. But like 5 total. And again, Belleville's population is 50,720 people. So like, do we really need all these? Like, I don't know. I'm very puzzled by the whole thing. And yeah, that's what we got for some Ontario.
You closed that out yourself, right?
I just closed it.
Oh,
now.
okay, all right. I was getting ready to type, and I was like, sometimes like if you don't actually click in the text box to type in chat, like certain letters will actually start changing the screen and start rearranging shit. And I was typing in the text. I was typing okay, and I was like, "Oh shit! Did I do that myself?"
Whoops.
Yeah.
Nope, I did it.
All right, here we have Lisa's here, and she will cover hers, and I will just go on as she needs me to.
So I did, excuse me, I did the Masonic lodges just in Central Texas. Next.
Okay.
The ones I'm going to start with are in Austin and then move outward. So the first one we have is the Scottish Rite Masonic Temple, or also called Masonic Lodge Boston. And that actually sits, and it's on 18th Street, and it's right next to another Masonic Lodge called Hill City Masonic Lodge. But the front doors of that sits on Lavaca Street, so they kind of intersect. But it was not two separate, but there were 2 different Masonic lodges, and Hill City just closed down, I think, last year, the year before. And those 2 are located at 900 feet away from the Chambers Funeral Home. Chambers Funeral Home is now going to be the new location for the Texas Funeral Service Commission. So that was quite interesting. Next. University Masonic Lodge sits at West 7th Street, and it is 0.3 miles away from the original location of the Texas Funeral Service Commission, as well as 0.3 miles away from the Monument Group, which used to be a funeral service, and now they just sell headstones. One of the things with the Texas Funeral Service Commission, its address is 333 Guadalupe Street. So I thought that was interesting.
333.
Yeah.
A lot of 7. You know, there was even something I caught a couple of them where, like the drive and the walk, I think the drive always tended to equal like a 17-minute walk instead. Yeah. And I was like, that's just funny.
A lot of 0.3 miles.
Yes, I noticed, with certain numbers too in the distance, but I was like, do I really want to start getting that crazy?
Right, no, absolutely. MW St. Joseph Grand Lodge sits on East 11th Street, and it is 0.4 miles away from King's Tears Mortuary. One of the things that I saw on the map with the Scottish Rite Museum, the University Masonic Lodge, and then this one, St. Joseph, is that if you look on the map and you zoom out, it forms like a triangle, and in the center of the triangle is the state capitol.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
You want me to go forward? Okay.
Mount Bonnell Lodge is located on Angelina Street, and that sits 0.4 miles away from King's Tears Mortuary, the same one from the previous one. And it also is 0.3 miles near the Phillips Upshaw Richard Funeral Home as well. Yeah.
Look at this one. I love these.
MW Carmel Grand Lodge, located on East 12th Street, is 0.3 miles away from King Tears Mortuary, same one, and 800 feet from Phillips Upshaw Richard Funeral Home, same one.
Yeah, 6 minute and 4 minute.
Same area, all these lodges next to these two mortuaries.
Yeah, that was something I think when I pull up some of the ones I have that I kind of noticed too. I was like, it's like some of them are almost like you're passing them to get to the next one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay. And then Onion Creek Lodge. So let me just point this out. So everything I just covered is all centered downtown, located downtown. And what I noticed, there's a lot more Masonic lodges downtown, but I didn't include them because when I would go to look for the funeral home that was supposed to be there, it's now a multi-use apartment complex. So either these funeral homes were basically uprooted, demolished, and then apartment complex sits now on it. So if you were to go, you're like, the funeral home's not here. It used to be there, but now an apartment complex sits there. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with, taxes and all that other stuff. So like Onion Creek Lodge is in South Austin, and that South Austin is one of the last areas of Austin to be fully, starting to be developed. And then, so it's the funeral home, and then I went ahead and I marked some of the cemeteries because I don't think you can move a cemetery, hopefully not. And I went ahead and I marked that to kind of show the proximity of it. And then as we go into the outer towns from Austin, you'll see a little bit more distance, and I'll explain why as well. So Onion Creek Masonic Lodge, located on, on Bluff Street, sorry about that, is, according to the map, it's a mile away. But if you were to take a direct route straight, it's less than a mile. It's just a mile via the road. But measuring it straight from point to point is less than a mile.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at before. A lot of them because of the streets and the way you have to go. But like if you drew a straight line, then not far at all.
Correct. And if you go to these areas, you'll see all of the development is brand new. I mean, it's all been recently developed, and all of South Austin predominantly, and then all of the surrounding areas. I think this Texas is predominantly privately owned, like 80-90% of Texas is privately owned. So you see all these ranches, ranchettes, and so as families start selling them off, then you have all this quick development. So when you see separation between like a Masonic lodge and a funeral home, there was probably a ranchette in the middle of it, and those were the only two available areas to build. You'll see that a lot as we move into the other towns. So I went ahead and I marked the cemeteries. Williamson Creek Cemetery, on the map it says it's a mile away, but if you point to point, it's way less than a mile. If you were to walk it straight, you don't have to take that whole route around. And then the Boggy Creek Masonic Cemetery is a mile away, which is less than a mile away if it's a direct route. And judging from the pictures, there's a whole lot of great gravestones. I plan on going, taking pictures, all kinds of nice, neat things. Okay.
That was actually something I had wanted to do. That was another thing that it sounds weird or maybe even cheesy. But like even part of like me filming the lodges, for one, I did want to, like I said, try to find commonalities maybe in like simple art that people weren't catching, that you'd see on multiple other types of buildings, like government buildings, churches, etc. I also, fact that I'm learning how to use my equipment too. I mean, that's I'm going to have to, so it's good practice. But I have actually thought about old historic graveyards. So I want to start catching if you start seeing certain names and certain symbols on people's gravestones.
Yeah. No, for sure. And a lot of it too is
where they're located near, if anything,
Right. Oh, right. And near water and all that other stuff. Some of these date back into the 1800s or whatever. And a lot of it, I think I mentioned to you, NY, that so Spanish kind of outlawed Freemasonry. And so it wasn't until like the Texas Revolution that the actual founders of Texas were all Masons. And so it was like party on once they got free reigns, they had kicked the Mexicans out. And so that's when you see it popping up or whatever. And I believe in Waco, they have like this huge museum the Masonic museum that they say is rivals the UN museum in New York City. But wow. Elgin Lodge in Elgin, Texas is located on Avenue C, and that sits 0.4 miles away from the Elgin funeral.
Avenue C is 3.
Yeah, I know. If you look it on the map, that's a lot closer than 0.4 miles if you were to go straight.
Yeah.
And again, all these areas, used to be predominantly ranch, privately owned. Okay,
Next one. All right.
Norton Moses Masonic Lodge in Leander.
Oh, sorry. Did I skip past that?
Go down.
Oh, I have to go up another one. This is right? Okay.
And that one. No. Norton Moses Masonic Lodge in Leander, Texas sits on Sunny Drive. And this one is located 1.2 miles away, or a 4-minute drive from Weed Corley Fish Leander Funeral Home and Cremation. If again, same thing, if you measure point to point, that's less than a mile.
Yeah.
Okay. Next. Blazing Star Masonic Lodge in Marble Falls.
That's interesting. The OTO in California has a Blazing Star.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, they even Blazing Star. It's so funny with that name. I think they even literally have a video on YouTube about how to apply the Kabbalah to, like, I guess a transsexual person. I'm like, really? Really?
Interesting.
For real? Yeah, you should see the people who showed up for that class and the person teaching the class. Woo! All right, go ahead.
So Blazing Star sits on Avenue G. And it seems like they're now like an actual lodge, like a hotel lodge. And my assumption is that they've had to because of the increase in taxes. So the whole central Texas has experienced this enormous boom, and taxes have, I don't know, just basically pushed out the locals to the point to where things are changing so fast, at least within the last 10 years for sure. So Blazing Star Masonic Lodge sits on Avenue G, and that is located at 0.3 miles away from Highland Lakes Funeral Service and Cremation Center.
I think Highland is another one that I came across as well.
Masonic Lodge of Lockhart, Texas is located on Main Street. That is another one that has converted over to like a hotel lodge. It's listed as a motel.
Yo, is that what all those? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I noticed when I started checking them, and like when you have them on the map, some of them I was like, "Yo, is that someone laying in a bed with inside?" And I'm like, "Are these like? Can you sleep there? Is they telling you they have beds?" And I was like, "I don't even." I was like, "I can't even."
That's so weird.
I haven't.
So I guess like, is that all of them that have like hotels in them as well? I didn't even like think that.
I'm wondering if they've, because people travel, maybe.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, oh, like, you know, if you kind of messed up, you got a place to crash for a night or two. Like, I didn't know like what this entailed.
Revenue, right? Because to try to maintain the lodge and pay for itself, I'm assuming.
I wonder if I could go there and rent and stay the night and bring my equipment and film the place.
I'm pretty sure they'd let you. It's Texas. We're all welcome.
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
So the Masonic Lodge of Lockhart, Texas, located on Main Street, sits 900 feet from Ed's funeral home.
Ed's.
I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Yeah. J.D. Giddings Masonic Lodge in Giddings, Texas, is located on Hempstead Street, and it sits less than half a mile from the Phillips and Lucky Funeral Home.
Oh, I like what Donnie. I always screw this dude's name up. Or whoever it is, Dorney Donko says something about autopsies. I never thought of that actually.
W.J. Nick Masonic Lodge in Smithville, Texas, sits at Wilkes Street and is located 0.7 miles from Morris Jones Funeral Home, 8 miles from Pendergrass People's Mortuary. This is definitely a case where there was little ranchettes in between and stuff like that back in the day.
It's even interesting how you have like 0.7 and 0.8. Like, I mean, obviously since they're one right after the other, but like that's even like the bottom of the tree. I mean, they both got a rise from there. I just even find that weird. It's like, in 3 minutes away, just.
Right. No. I mean, you have to wonder.
Yeah.
Temple Masonic Lodge, also known as Knob Creek, in Temple, Texas, located on Central Avenue, sits at 0.2 miles from Hewitt Arney Funeral Home and half a mile from Harper Talasek Funeral Home.
So that's another one with multiple.
Yeah. And again, if you were to go straight shot, it'd be less than that.
And that's all you have, correct? I think it ended there. Awesome. All right, so I'll pull up. I think there is 2 or 3 in here that Brandy did. Unfortunately, because of just the way she sent the email, she did send me more than that. It was a mess. And it was easier for me to actually find my own than to actually try to put all these pictures in numerical order. So shout out to Brandy. Some of them, I think there's a few of them that I didn't cover that she gave me, but some of hers are in here. And thank you very much, Brandy. All right. Yeah, we have the Excelsior Masonic Lodge, and that is in Charlotte, North Carolina. We have Tribute and Talent. Funerals and cremations. That's in Charlotte.
Get a show with it. Or
yeah, right.
God.
That's in Charlotte, North Carolina. That is a 4-minute drive. Again, if you even saw like how close that kind of is directly from each other, that is not anymore a 29-minute walk. But 4-minute drive, it's 29-minute walk. Then we have the Shelby 744 Lodge, and that's in Shelby, North Carolina. And then you have, look at this thing. What is this? This looks like a house. Lutz Ostel Funeral Home. It's a 4-minute walk or a 1-minute drive. Right next to each other. What? For real? Really? Okay. We got the Cleveland Masonic Lodge. This one is a little bit longer than the other ones, but the reason why I included it is because it has the same name, Cleveland Funeral Services, and that's a 10-minute drive. I don't know how that turns into a 2-hour walk, but that's a 10-minute drive, and it's like pretty much like almost on the same street. Then we have Maiden Masonic Lodge, and that is in Maiden, North Carolina. And then you have the Gooden Drum Funeral Home, and that is in Maiden, North Carolina. And that is a 3-minute drive, or now a 25-minute walk. Before a 3-minute drive was 17 minutes, so whatever. 25-minute, 3-minute drive. And then that is also near Burke Mortuary, which is a 5-minute drive. It's a little bit more down the road, or a 46-minute walk. We have Pythian Lodge. That is in Lincolnton, North Carolina. And then you have, this I thought was interesting. It's called Ebony and White's, black and white, funeral service near the 9-minute drive from the Pythian Lodge. Then you have, again, the E&F Drum Funeral Home. That is a 9-minute drive from the Pythian Lodge as well. You have a Warlick Funeral Home to the Pythian Lodge, 8-minute drive. And if that isn't good enough, because those sounded like a little bit longer than some of the other ones, you have the Lincoln Masonic Lodge, which is right next to those three as well. The Warlick Funeral Home, 4-minute drive though now. You have the EMF Drum Funeral Home, again next to the Lincoln Masonic Lodge, only a minute away. And then you have the Ebony and White's, again, funeral home, only 4 minutes away from this lodge. So it's like you just had those three next to two. Asheville Masonic Temple, North Carolina, Asheville. And then you have Croce Funeral Home. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a Croce Memorial instead. I don't know. But that is a 2-minute drive away. But then there's another Croce that's 5 minutes away. And then there's another Croce that's 6 minutes away. And I didn't include the other one, but there's a fourth one that's like a little bit over 10 minutes away. So I found that weird that there's 4 Croces surrounding this one lodge. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then we have Fayetteville, North Carolina Masonic Temple. Then we have Jernigan Warren Funeral Home, and that is a 2-minute drive, a 12-minute walk. And then we also have Sullivan Highland Funeral Services. That is a 2-minute drive or a 13-minute walk. And last but not least, I think this is the last one, Orr Masonic Temple. This is in Washington, North Carolina. You have New Beginning Funeral Home. The fucking house needs a new beginning in general. That is a 1-minute drive or a 1-minute walk away from each other. And then if that isn't good enough, you got Leon Randolph Funeral Home. That is a 1-minute drive and 6-minute walk. And then we also have Paul Funeral Home. That is a 2-minute drive or a 15-minute walk. And then we have Heavenly Arms Family Mortuary. That is a 4-minute drive or 32-minute walk. Yeah, I guess I wasn't done. Then we have another Masonic Temple in Mount Airy, North Carolina. Yes, that one's next to Moody Funeral Homes, and that is a 1-minute drive or a 3-minute walk. Also near B's Bed and Breakfast. That's where the swarm stays. This is Spencer Funeral Home. It's right by you, too. So you got 2 there. Then we have the Salisbury Masonic Temple in Salisbury, North Carolina. And that is next to Harrison Funeral Home. I guess that's a funeral home. I don't know. Looks like a trailer park. It's a 3 minutes away or a 19-minute drive. And then they also have Noble and Kelsey, which is a 4-minute drive, 17-minute walk from that temple. Then you also, I just wanted to toss this in there, you do have a Elks Lodge 3 minutes away. Then we have the Greensboro Masonic Temple in Greensboro, North Carolina. That is 3 minutes away and 14-minute walk from Haynes Lineberry Funeral Home. 4-minute drive, 21-minute walk from Perry J. Brown Funeral Home. And we have the Hinnett Funeral Home, a 4-minute drive, 25-minute walk. And then we have Forbes and Dick Funeral Home, 4-minute drive, 28-minute walk. And then we have Callan's Funeral Home, 6-minute drive, 34-minute walk. Yo, I need to know what's going on that people are dying that much over there. You need that many funeral homes? Maybe you need better doctors. That funeral homes? What the?
I don't know. It's really weird.
It's a business everyone's dying to get into.
Well, that is the thing. Somebody had mentioned, how do you know these things aren't owned by them? And like, again, I was saying to them earlier, pretty much really done with the episode, talk for a few minutes. But like, I don't think we need to tell you what to think about. I think just from what we showed you is good enough and should start making you wonder. But, somebody did mention to me, oh, crap, I forgot where I was going with it, about what the reason. Oh, if you think about it, you can't just go and bury someone. And it is ridiculously expensive to do it. You will literally go put ashes in a can for a few $1,000s. When you could do that with a fireplace and a Folgers cup can. I mean, this is like, seriously, I mean, like, what was that movie, the dude? When I think that's what they ended up doing. They started flipping out at the funeral home, telling him, like, why is it so expensive to burn this guy? And I think they were like, we're going to pay you to put it in this coffee can. And that's what we're giving you money for. Yeah, I forgot the name of the movie. But, like, seriously, like, if you think about it, when it comes to burying somebody, you are pretty much fucked. It's expensive for nothing. So, I mean, could that even just be a business that's like, we're just going to screw people on an expensive service?
Very much so.
Could be. Could want as much a monopoly on that as possible. Right? Just from a money perspective.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, they're playing on the whole, you're not in your right mind. You're not thinking. You're mainly going based off of emotion. And at that point, yes, fine. Yes, whatever. And there you go.
No, I mean, like even Thrash is saying it was $2,000 for his relative. I don't know if that was, cremated or not, but like, I've known people where sometimes it's like you're looking at like 10, 15 grand if you want like a decent headstone and a plot. Like a few $1,000s is cremating them. That's like a cheap way. It's just.
Well, and they say this because we've had family members pass away and they're like, we're going to do cremation because it's cheaper. But then they tell you, but you want the families to view the body, right? Well, you have to pay for renting the casket. You have to pay for renting the suit. You have to pay for renting the whatever. But you're still going to get the cremation, but they're still going to charge you on the front end as well. It's pretty lucrative. Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, that's all I got. I mean, I thought it was really interesting and very weird to me. Some people would say sus. It's very shady. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Like, especially even when when Teresa was going on about the population, or multiple of these things next to each other. Do you really need all of these? And some of them say open 24 hours, which, I mean, I guess I get. But, like, is that out of convenience? I mean.
I was wondering that, too. I saw
how
that.
Many, plus, I mean, how many people are going to go knock on a funeral home's door in the middle of the night unless you need to be there?
I guess
you could be there and nobody's going to bother you at all.
I think it's like if you needed to call because it's like, your relative died or whatever in the middle of the night, you got to get the process like going. I'm guessing that's what it's for.
No, that's what I thought.
Receiving the bodies at any hour.
I think because they have to accept the bodies.
No, that's what I thought. But like, it is a convenient thing that these places are also open 24 hours constantly. And if I remember correctly, and then I'll end it here, Gacy did work in a funeral home before he started doing his renovation stuff. You can look it up. Gacy, who was in the Moose Lodge, was a Mason, close to politicians as he got up in his little thing. He had worked at a funeral home prior.
Oh, God.
Very weird. Yeah, so I think you can even look up Masons that are like known for working at funeral homes. I think somebody even sent me a thing about that too, which is a little weird. So, We'll just end it there. Conspiracy or coincidence? I don't know, man. This shit seems shady to me. I'm going to say there's a conspiracy here. Teresa, what do you think?
I don't know, man. There's got to be something up with it.
Something weird,
and,
right?
Okay, so like
it doesn't even have to be nefarious.
In me, though, the devil's advocate in me is like, okay, well, if we looked up like any building, like, and then this other type of building, would we find like all these coincidences also? Like, is it there just because we're looking?
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's a lot. Like, I don't know if it's, I don't think it's just a coincidence. And like you said, there's multiple motives or reasons why it could be. Could literally be just a business thing. And that, you know, because a lot of Masonic stuff, temples, lodges, they're very old. And that land's been purchased like long ago. So maybe they own a lot of the surrounding land. Maybe they like having funeral homes as tenants because it's a solid business. Like, I don't know, right? Or there's more nefarious reasons, that's funny, yeah. Perhaps, right? Yes. I don't know.
I tell you, they definitely, I'm sure, if they possibly owned any of them, they definitely racked up a lot of money a few years ago.
Right?
A lot.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
And counting.
Yeah.
And counting.
Yeah. We'll see what happens from the adverse effects now. Lisa, what do you think? Conspiracy or coincidence?
I think both.
Okay. I could go with that.
Established immediately once the town was being established. The people building the town were Masons, and therefore they're building all the things that are essential to the town, including the temple, the Mason temple. And I think there is a potential correlation with it being near something like that.
Mm-hmm. I can go with that as well. Well, again, thank you both very much for doing this in such a short amount of time. Shout out again to Brandy and some of the New Jersey things I did actually get from a listener. And that's what made me cover a couple of more New Jersey to make up a total of, if like I said, I think correctly, that was exactly 50, maybe like 51. But I think that was 50 lodges. And if there's a chance to do 50 more, I might again, just to really hit home on the point that I do think something is weird here. You know, if 50 isn't enough, because like we're still saying maybe it's a coincidence. If I find another 50 or 100 after that, I don't know if I can say that's a coincidence anymore. So you never know. There might be a part 2 to this. Thank you, everybody, for jumping in on the live and commenting. That is what's up. That's why I went live. I normally don't try to go live when we have a lot of stuff to present because normally it doesn't go this smooth and there's time between switching. But I said screw it, and I thought it was just going to be a simple, easy one that we could just run right through. That was just like, So thank you all for jumping in. That's what's up. And again, thank you, Teresa. Teresa, do you want to plug your show real quick?
Sure. Well, thank you. And there's like actually a lot of people watching this live right now. Yeah, I don't know if that's like your biggest one ever, but
no, it was Ramsey's. I think beat it with like 100 and some. 180.
It's a pretty good one though for you. So yay! Thanks everybody.
Yes.
But yeah, if you want to check out my other show, it's called the Spiritual Gangsters podcast. It's on YouTube also, all the major podcast platforms. It's very conversational and fun, and yeah, it's a good time for like-minded folks.
Thank you very much. And her links are in the bottom as well. And that is the end of another Occult Rejects. And until the next one, everybody be well. Later.